Good evening, everybody. This is, well, it's not the Cornado Brothers Tag Team Tournament. I thought we were getting that, and then I forgot. They had at least 3 more matches on the Green with Envy show. Let me see if I can go in and change this real quick. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. So this is the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show for episode 152, which is Green with Envy Part 3. There almost was not an after show tonight, or there was almost no episode tonight. It did not air on Twitch. Well, it did. It aired 2 hours before it was supposed to. Apparently what the quote-unquote producers forgot to do was schedule the premiere. And what they did instead was just straight up upload the episode. And they never told the top brass at CWF about it. So they didn't know until people started flooding Twitter with, hey, you know, like the old I want my MTV, it was I want my CWF. So, all right, let me see here. I'm just getting a text message here. Hold on, I have to answer this, folks. I do apologize. Before we get into tonight's episode, I have a couple of housekeeping things that I want to throw out there at you guys. First off, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and since we started this after show, next week, let me make sure I got this right here. I want to make sure I have this right. I believe it's next week or the week after. Stupid Mark Joe White, you should know this. Okay, so next week is our 1-year anniversary of doing this show. It's going to be episode, we always call the episode, episode 152, 153, because we keep it in line with what the after show is pertaining to. But in reality, this is episode 51 of the after show. As my cat walks into the studio. Hello, cat. Anyway. So this is episode 51. Next week marks 52 weeks that we've been doing this after show. We haven't missed a week. Even when there was no episode of Worldwide, we still did an after show. So next week is our 52nd episode. I have to get with Jeff Edwards to see if he's going to come on, which means he'll actually have to watch the episode next week, I think. But we might get Jeff back on. But that's next week, and I'm so proud to have made it 1 year. We may not be putting up huge numbers. We may not be, officially sponsored. We got official, unofficial sponsors, but we may not have, I'll use something to wrestle with as an example because I was watching them on the network today. We may not have such and such for law telling you about mesothelioma and how to sue people because of it. But I will say thank you to everybody who's ever tuned into this show, and for people who continue to tune into this show and make it what it is. We've grown a lot in the last 51 weeks here, and we're going to continue to grow. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. CWF has had their ups, CWF has had their downs. And, so I want to thank everybody from the wrestlers who have come on as guests to everybody that was nice to me and nice enough to give me an interview at FanCon back in October. Everybody who's ever supported this show, you have my undying thanks and my undying gratitude. I just appreciate it very much. But the last few weeks have been kind of tough on me. And it all has to do with the big rant I went on 3 weeks ago. There was part of me that did not want to go to that Cornado Cup show last week, or last Saturday. Because, quite frankly, part of me did not feel welcome back in that sportatorium again. But I had a few conversations with people I won't name names, but I had a few conversations with a lot of people who said, you know what? If you give up doing your after show, and if you stay away from the Sportatorium, and if you stop giving your opinions, you're just proving those who call you a stupid mark right. So I was like, you know what? They're right. So I went to that second Coronado Cup show, and I'm glad I did. Part of me also was thinking that something would kind of huge was going to happen, that some groundwork was going to be laid for the future, and it was. And I'm happy about it. I'm happy that Coronado Cup show, we'll talk about it when it airs because they have to air that one in sequence. I wasn't there for the first one for the matinee show, but the second episode that they taped, the semifinals and then the finals, started off on a low point for me, but by the end of the night, I was like, okay, this is going to make this whole thing make sense. So I'm looking forward to discussing that on future episodes of the after show here. But what I am going to do is I am going to make a change to the after show, and this is very important to me. Because of the way that my health has been, and because of the way my just overall, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't touch my computer hardly anymore. Tonight's the first night in about a week that I've been downstairs here in the studio messing around. I've been upstairs. I've been spending time with my family for the last couple of months. I've been, playing video games upstairs on the big screen TV instead of down here on a computer monitor. And I've actually, enjoyed doing it along with, my new job that I have. I've been enjoying it. So that's prompted me to a couple things here on regarding the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel and everything. It's prompted me to make a few changes, and one of those changes, or the biggest change, a couple things. One is I've launched the Stupid Mark Show. A lot of people have gotten behind the Stupid Mark quote unquote character, as it were, and so I've created the Stupid Mark Show. Joe White, Stupid Mark. Anyway, take a bump, Joe White. You can't speak about it till you take a bump. But so I've created the Stupid Mark Show. Episode 1 is up right now. It's where I take 2 topics and I talk about them. I talked about the Walking Dead season finale, and I talked about the possibility of WWE holding WrestleMania at kind of a untraditional venue. And I'm not going to spoil it because I want you guys to go listen. It's on the YouTube channel right now. There's a link for it down below here on Twitch. And if you're listening to the YouTube version of the CWF After Show, the official CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show, feel free to go watch that. The second change I made is about From Pillar to Post. I've not posted an episode of From Pillar to Post in quite a while. And there's a reasoning behind it. I haven't wanted to do it. I haven't been motivated to do it, quite frankly. So, as a way to get myself back into motivation of doing it, and as a way to, I won't say force myself to do it, but not be lazy about it, because that's probably the main reason why I've been doing it, is because I've been a lazy motherfucker the last 2 weeks, or a few weeks. I've decided to split the Wednesday night schedule into 2 different shows, basically. You're still going to get the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show airing at 10:30 p.m. each and every Wednesday. We don't miss a week, okay? There's been, a lot of people don't realize it, but there's been a lot of weeks over the last year, a lot of Wednesdays over the last year, where I have been sick as a freaking dog. But I've still come down here to manage to do this show because I love doing it. I love the feedback it gets, good and bad. I just wish the people who give bad feedback would actually, fucking listen instead of just, jumping in. Who's the marks? Anyway, but I've decided that after the after show, because the after shows have been smaller and shorter the last few weeks, because there's really been, not a whole lot, going on really to talk about. I mean, they've been your standard episodes of Worldwide. Not that they haven't been good, but they haven't been, oh my God, did you see this person debut? Or, oh my God, what a hell of a match. And that's not taking anything away from, the wrestlers because the matches have been good, but you guys get what I mean. It's they haven't really done anything booking wise to shake things up. I mean, we just had the Superstar shake up the last 2 days. They haven't, not that CWF's going to do a draft, but you guys get my drift. They haven't really done anything shocking and over the top, and CWF's usually not known for those sort of things. So bottom line is, here's what I'm going to do. After the after show each week, however long the after show takes, I'm going to then spend an extra 45 minutes to an hour on From Pillar to Post. The after show will change over to From Pillar to Post. What you'll see is, just like it was a couple weeks ago, you'll see that, and instead of the after show thing. So, and what I'll do there is I'll talk about things that interest me that have gone on during the week, whether it be movies, video games, WWE, any other kind of wrestling that's out there. And I'll, because when I did this with AC the week before WrestleMania, a lot of people stuck around, and a lot of people stuck around after the after show and commented and listened and joined in on the conversation and what we had to say. And I appreciate that. And it kind of got me thinking, what if I did that every week? Just, and I'm used to doing radio for 4 or 5 hours at a time anyway. So, why not give it, in fact, I think AC is going to come on tonight at around 11 o'clock, 11:15 p.m. We're going to talk about the Superstar shakeup a little bit. But let's get into tonight's episode. So again, going forward, you'll get your CWF after show. I enjoy doing this after show. I love doing this after show each and every week because I love CWF so much. But after we get done talking about CWF, we're going to have a more wide open forum and talk about pretty much anything that interests me during the week, anything that interests you guys during the week. We'll talk about it. Just not political stuff. That's one thing I'll never touch on this channel. Go listen to The Rise of Liberty with Jeff Edwards and DJ Stames if you want to hear your political stuff. But I don't get into politics. I could care less about politics. So we'll keep it non-political. It won't be a social justice warrior bitch fest. We'll talk about video games, movies. In fact, I saw Rampage last weekend. It was a hell of a movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's probably my favorite Rock movie so far that he's ever done. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But tonight, AC is going to come on with us a little bit if he decides to come on and talk with us. If he doesn't decide to come on, then we'll just end the show. But let's get into this episode of Worldwide here. This is episode 152, Green with Envy Part 3. And we got a hell of an opening match here. And I do have a gripe about it. And it's not a gripe about the workers. It's not a gripe about CWF. It's not a gripe about production. It's not a gripe about commentary. Because I will say this. Overall, tonight's episode, from a production standpoint, from a commentary standpoint, hell, this episode was probably... As my OBS disconnects on me. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I have to fire up the old stream here. Yeah, restart if you have to, guys, because my internet just crapped out. Hold on. Anyway, you'll see it on the recording. So what I've done, so again, I don't have I forgot where I was. So I guess to pick it back up, the production was good on this episode. If you managed to see it, if you haven't seen it yet, the production's good. The audio really didn't have any miscues. It was really good. The matches were good. This is probably the best episode of Worldwide this year, honestly. Besides, the Chapel Hill shows were good, but I honestly think that from a production standpoint, this is probably the best episode of Worldwide that we've had all year. So it's worth going out of your way to see. Let me see here. Let me see if I can. How about that? CWF doesn't have a fuck up tonight, and I'm the one that has the fuck ups because my internet connection. Give me 1 second. If you're listening here on the archive, I do apologize here. If you guys can hear me, please say something in the chat room right now. I do apologize. But anyway, if you're listening to this on the archive, whatever. So it wasn't, my gripe wasn't with any of the production. My gripe here with this match between Willow Nightingale and Aspen Rose that kicked us off here on Worldwide this week, it was with the fans. It was with the crowd. Thank you. It was with the crowd. Live, the crowd was dead for this match. The crowd could not care less about this match live. And I'll tell you that really kind of disgusted me. It really did. Because here we are, at least me, people like Papa Hales, I know of, last year was championing for this. All of us CWF fans, everybody was saying, we want women's wrestling in the Sportatorium. We want women's wrestling in the Sportatorium. How come we never get women's matches at the Sportatorium? Well, we got a women's match. And it was a damn good women's match between Willow Nightingale and Aspen Rose. And the crowd just could not care less. And I'm sitting here I'm sitting next to Jason from American Lucha Designs, and we're cheering for this because we like both of these women. Nobody else is, though. And I'm looking at him going, well, it'll be at least another 6 months to a year before we have another women's match here, probably. He's looking at me, and he goes, yeah, you're probably right. And I looked at him, and I go, crowd's fucking dead. You know? I'm sorry, there's no excuse for that. You can get behind fucking, well, you can get behind everything else in the building. Get behind this. This was a real good match. It was a nice side slam by Willow there. I did note that Rose, with her punches and forearms, looks like she needs to lay it in a little bit more. But other than that, it was, was it a damn good match or a damn good match for an indie women? Both. What is your typical indie women's match? See, now you're getting into classifying. See, that right there is like, okay, women want to be treated equally in this business, and women want to be, put on the main events and stuff, but then we get into classifications. Oh, it's an indie women's match. Women's match is a women's match. I treat the women the same way and critique the women the same way I would the men. There is no difference to me. It's a wrestling match with women in it. That's the way I look at it. Whether it's indie, no, come on. It was a really good match. I liked it. I liked it live. I liked it here on Worldwide. I think it came off better on Worldwide because you had commentary and you could phase out what, the crowd making no noise really didn't matter. But it was a really good match. I felt like it was kind of like a squash match, though. Women are doing better in WWE. Goon Recruiter, you're absolutely right. Women are doing better than WWE sometimes. But let's get back to CWF here. This was a damn good match. I liked it. I think it was on par with everything else that needed to be on the show. That was an RGO quality match. Oh, come on. Both of them worked hard. Both of them busted their ass. The only thing I have to say is Aspen Rose needs to learn to lay it in and make her punches seem a little bit more believable. I thought that Rose sold good. I did like The Fisherman by Willow. It was really nice. And then she, Aspen Rose, turning kind of like a back belly to back suplex into the stunner was good. And then Willow, I think, hit the DVD for the win is what I have here. It was a good introduction to CWF for Willow. It's crazy because I had just seen these two ladies about 2 weeks prior to this live at a Queens of Combat show. So I was already familiar with Willow Nightingale and what she could do. I hope we see more of both of these women. We've seen a lot of Aspen Rose in the past, but I want to see more Willow Nightingale here. I just want to see more women's wrestling in CWF. Honestly, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was originally supposed to be a fatal 4-way match here. Then one of the other ladies, I forget the other lady's name, that was supposed to be in it, she wasn't there. And then Faye Jackson ended up having dental surgery, I think it was, and could not appear at the show. So they turned it into just Willow Nightingale versus Aspen Rose, which I didn't have a problem with. Good match. Very good way to start this episode of Worldwide. I just wish the crowd was into it a little bit more than what they were, because you say you want something and then they give it to you and then you shit on it by not giving it a reaction. Why can't you people act like this when Roman Reigns comes out? That's all I got to say. That's a topic for Pillar to Post, not for this show. We got our Tag Team Open Challenge. The Dawsons taking on Ray Kandrak and Mike Mars. Let me see here. Okay. Sorry, personal life, family life does still continue here while I'm doing the show. I just got a text message. Oh, come on. Aspen is not that bad. Aspen Rose is not that bad. So we get the Dawsons coming out, and then Ray Kandrak comes out and cuts a damn good promo. Kandrak reminds me a lot of Kevin Owens. It really does. In his promos, in his look, everything. When I see him, I'm just like, you have the potential to be a Kevin Owens-esque heel. I wish you would work more. But he says, I don't have to like the person I'm teaming with. I don't have to be friends with him. I just have to find somebody that'll fight with me. And Mike Mars comes out, and I'm just sitting there live. I'm sitting there going, Mike Mars and Ray Kandrak. That's a hell of a tag team right there. The Dawsons cut a really good promo before this too. The Dawsons are always awesome. Can't say I have never ever had a bad thing to say about the Dawsons. Never. I like how Kandrak came out and said that he was bigger than Cool J. I like that little dig. Even though, as you'll see in the next few weeks, Cool J, they got something with Cool J. That's all I'll say. I was not warm to it when I first was like, okay, they're going to put the RJL title on him. But now, this kid, Cool J, gets it. Cool J gets it. He knows how to entertain. He knows how to use his size to his advantage in order to entertain people. He has it. He's never going to be in WWE because of his size. But who knows? Now that I say that, watch him try to sign him one day. But he has it. It's just something about him. Something the way he just comes out and just does his thing is awesome now. I put here there was a good hard-hitting match. The Dawsons are good as always. The double headbutt by Kandrak and Mars was freaking awesome. I like how they, at one point, Mars got his leg Charlie horsed. And then one of the Dawson brothers goes to give him a goes for a pinfall after the Charlie horse. And he hooks the leg that he just Charlie horsed. And Cecil Scott is right on point going, look at him. He's hooking the bad leg. Commentary was damn good on this episode. Damn good. And then even Smith Garrett chimed in with, yeah, man, I know how bad that hurts, him hooking that bad leg. And not only is he hooking the bad leg, but he has to try to kick out too. I thought, I mind blown at that, man. It is Cecil Scott at his finest right there. It was a damn good match. The Dawsons end up winning and continuing their tag title reign. It was refreshing to see Kandrak again. Mike Mars is still in the Triple H 1996 position, if you know what I mean. That's all I'll say. 1996, early 97 position. But he'll get there. He has the potential to be elevated and to get to that spot that he was at late last year once again. Anyway, our third match, Logan Easton LaRoe versus Cam Carter. Cam Carter, I see everybody tweeting about Ricochet and all the stuff he could do. If there's somebody on the indies right now that is that good but undiscovered, so to speak, it's Cam Carter. The stuff he was doing, him and Logan were doing in this match, is on par with anything that you'll find on a PWX, Ring of Honor, whatever the case may be. It was that good. I'm gonna tell you right now. The fact that neither one of these guys are out there working like Evolve or anywhere like that, and if they are, please correct me if I'm wrong, but they should be. I'll say it right now, Cam Carter within another year or two is probably going to be ready for Ring of Honor. He's that good in my opinion. Logan is going somewhere too. I don't know where. He's got, they kind of swept up, the 1% deal with EC3 in WWE. But I enjoy seeing Logan Easton LaRoe. Every time he's in that sportatorium, it's just gold. And it's beginning to be the same way with Cam Carter. When Cam Carter's music hits, you know you're in for something special. It was a damn good match. This whole episode here proves that CWF can still give you everything that you want out of a pro wrestling show. You had women. You had a tag team brawl. You had your flippity flappity flu with this match. I'm telling you, this whole show. I don't have a really bad thing to say about it. There's little nuances. I had to dig deep to find something to bitch about this week, and that's a breath of fresh air considering the ups and downs that this promotion has already had this year within the last 4 months. Cam Carter's chops on this show, oh my God, they sounded like shotgun blasts live in the arena. And that back kick that he does into the neck breaker, golly. I can remember sitting there live just being blown away by this, marking my ass off for this, man. Cam ends up kicking out of the cutter, and the reaction by Logan was just priceless. I put here again, Cam Carter has all the pieces. He can make it. That's what I put here. Give it about another year, guys. We're going to be hearing about this guy. There was once a guy I knew who wrestled in Richmond, Virginia on occasion, and his name was Deacon Strickland. You now know him as Shane Strickland. And it took him a couple of years, but he got there. And I think Cam Carter's kind of on the same path. So give it about another year or two. Cam Carter's going to become a household name on the indies. He has the potential to do it. The pieces he doesn't have are the pieces that CWF are very strong in. Perfect place for him to be. I agree 100%. 100%. The second rope 450 by Cam was awesome. I didn't write a lot of stuff around here about Logan Easton LaRoe because Logan is awesome in his own right. He, the super kicks and the beat just being an overall, pain in the ass heel is his gimmick. Everything about Logan is awesome. And you've heard me rant and rave about Logan before on this show. I wish they'd book him more often. I mean, I think he's from Northern Virginia or Maryland or somewhere around there. So, it's about a 5-6 hour drive, or actually about a 6 hour drive. But, To me, it's worth it paying him a little bit of gas money to bring a talent like that in. And then after the match, William L. Cross comes out. And Cross, you could tell live, Cross was legitimately blown away by this. You knew he was watching this through the curtain, and he was blown away just like everybody else in that building was. And he says that, Cam has a future, and that it reminds him of somebody else who does the flip flop flippity fly. He didn't put it in those words, but that was the gist of it. And we're going to get a future match between Cam Carter and Andrew Everett. I believe it's going to be for the Ultra J title. And I think that match is happening on the 28th of this month. So that right there is enough to get your ass to, it should be enough to get your ass to Gibsonville on the 28th for Cam Carter versus Andrew Everett for that Ultra J championship. That is going to be freaking amazing. Amazing. And that was worldwide. Not a bad thing really to say about this episode. Not at all. The camera shots were good. The commentary was good. You could hear everything good. There was no mix match in the audio. It didn't look like a Godzilla movie. The commentary levels were good. You could hear the crowd. I feel, besides them not premiering it on Twitch at 9 o'clock, everything gelled here. This was the one, and I hope it continues week after week like this. But it was an awesome show tonight. It was really good. I don't have a bad thing to say about it. I'm going to take a quick break. I will say I want to thank everybody who came up and said hi to me on Saturday. It meant a lot. A lot of people everybody over this past week and even there on Saturday that was like, keep doing your shit. We like what you're doing. Even had some of the top brass come up to me and go, ignore that shit. So that's what I'm choosing to do going forward. And I look at it this way. If anybody from CWF has a problem with what I'm doing, feel free to come on the air and air out your grievances. I'll listen to you. Hell, it might even spark a change with the show. You never know. But have the balls to come on here and say it. And have the balls to actually listen to the episode. So, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to take a quick break. Let's see here. What do I want to play? I'll do this. I'll play this right here. Then I'll play, since people love it, I'll play the Johnny P ad. And then I'll play a couple more 90s commercials for you guys this week. I know people like those. But when we come back, we're going to take you for Pillar to Post. We're going to be talking about movie news, video game news. AC says he's going to come on and chat with us a little bit about the Superstar Shakeup. I want to thank everybody who tuned in today to listen to the Shakeup. I want to thank everybody who's listened to the Stupid Mark Show so far. I really do appreciate that as well, and I hope you guys continue to watch and listen each and every week. Where are my commercials at? Oh, here we go. Let me see here if I can get this right. It's on the fly here. All right. There it is. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching here. And stay tuned because we got a lot to talk about on From Pillar to Post about the Superstar Shakeup in WWE and everything like that. We will be right back. Stay with us.
In an effort to win over swing voters before the crucial Pennsylvania